Do you ever stay in a relationship longer than you should because you know no one else is going to touch your dick? I'm not saying that's what happened in my last relationship, but the thought definitely crossed my mind more than once. I broke up with my ex a few months ago, and we definitely had a lot of ups and downs. Like, I wanted her to touch my dick more, she wanted to touch my dick less. But I'm super grateful that I got to be in a relationship at all because I'm pretty shit when it comes to dating. Like while most people were trying to figure out what they wanted out of a partner in their 20s, I was single from the ages of 22 to 29, which means that I spent the majority of my 20s watching YouTube videos, playing video games, and masturbating to censored Japanese porn. And it's so strange because people make you think that when you turn 30 that your life is basically over, but then you get here and everything stays the fucking same. Like, am I still a piece of shit who doesn't have any ambitions to be greater? Check. Should I call my parents more often just to see how they're doing instead of only when I need something from them? Check. Do I still want to stick my dick in every girl I meet, even if I'm not sure if she has a vagina? Check. I'm also pretty awful at asking women out because it's a skill you have to practice. And if you have anxiety and depression like I do, why the fuck would you want to practice something where you're going to get rejected all the time? Like, but no one teaches you practical shit when you're growing up, right? Like my parents wasted so much money on private tutors and piano lessons, when instead they should have wasted it on a dating coach or just a babysitter that didn't have boundaries. My life would have turned out very differently, I promise you. Like I couldn't play you a single song on the piano or solve a geometry problem right now if my life depended on it. But if they had gotten me someone who's gonna help me get pussy as a preteen, that would have been the greatest gift I've ever received from my parents, and it's not even close. My parents don't really bother me too much about what's going on in my dating life like they used to, which is probably a good thing because sometimes I'll Google, how many people in the United States will die single? Which sounds kind of morbid, but it turns out it's actually very comforting to my self-esteem. If you think you're the only person that's going to die alone in this country, it's gonna be okay. There are plenty of other losers that are going to die alone too. The internet is the greatest and worst thing that's happened in my lifetime, and I think that everyone, including me, takes it for granted. Like I remember when I was 12 years old, I used to buy the local Sunday newspaper and pretend that the only reason I was buying it was so I could read articles about my favorite sports team, the Chicago Bulls. Which was true, but the main reason I was buying them was so that I could masturbate to the lingerie models in the Sears and JCPenney catalogs. I had to use my imagination to imagine what these women looked like naked. I would ejaculate directly onto the catalogs and then throw away the evidence in shame. I thought I was being so smart. I didn't have cable television growing up as a child, so one of the few shows you could beat off to was a show called Caliente. It was on the Spanish network, Univision, and aired once a week from 1995 to 2006. If you've never watched a show before, imagine a Latin soul train where women in bikinis and men in swing trunks are dancing to a live music or a DJ. Some parts were definitely better than others, so I would record the show onto VHS tapes so I could rewatch the juicy parts over and over again. Today, if the porn I'm watching doesn't end in a facial, it's a complete waste of time. I work in a retail pharmacy as a pharmacy technician, which means that I hate most people most days of my life. Don't get me wrong, the majority of people that come into my job are actually decent, nice people. The problem is, it only takes one prick face to take a massive shit on you to ruin your entire day. I've never gotten in trouble with the law for hurting someone before, but I've also never thought about killing people more than when I'm working in the pharmacy. So whenever a customer tries to belittle me, I can feel the rage building up in my face, and then I have to pretend like I give a shit about them. When in my mind, I've already stabbed them in the stomach 50 times. Sometimes I wonder how a person could turn out to be such a piece of shit, but then I visit my sister's family, who has a 6-year-old son, and everything makes sense. Like, if you think kids are the fucking worst, that's because they are. You're not a bad person for thinking this. I'm not a bad person for thinking this. And so my nephew will use me as a punching bag, play with his tiny penis while waving it in front of my face, verbally abuse me, and then if I ever try to call him out on his bullshit, he gets really mad and calls me an asshole. And while any well-adjusted adult could handle this situation with empathy and patience, I'm just a child stuck in a man's body. So most of the time, I just want to punch him in his little entitled ass face. Thank you.